my cell connection is stable enough. I hope.
We'll find out.
Granted, I'm down in the basement, but like, I've been having weird slowdown issues.
YouTube live stream coming through.
Coming through.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment to find your seat and silence any electronic devices. Our ceremony will begin in just a moment. Good afternoon or morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Brigadier General Lt Welsh, Commander of the Washington Air National Guard, welcome to today's promotion ceremony honoring Major Joseph Compton as he is promoted to Lieutenant Colonel. I am Lieutenant Colonel Allison Teeter, and I will be your narrator for today's ceremony. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of ruffles and flourishes and the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Before we begin, let me take a moment to introduce the official party. The presiding officer today is Brigadier General Lt Welsh, Commander of the Washington Air National Guard. Our honoree is Major Joseph Compton, Director of Intelligence, Headquarters, Washington Air National Guard. At this time, I would like to welcome Major Compton's special guests. Major Compton's wife, Sandra Martinez Compton, his daughter, Laura, his father, Colonel Retired Randy Compton, his mother, Chris Compton, and his grandmother, Ida Fisk. And all family and friends joining us remotely via YouTube. Also joining us today are a couple of distinguished visitors. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Colonel Carrie Wenzel, Director of Staff, Washington Air, and Chief Master Sergeant Alan Lawson, Washington Air National Guard State Command Chief. Thank you all for being here. And finally, welcome to the many others who are in attendance today, friends, fellow airmen, and soldiers and members of the Washington Air National Guard. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to introduce the presiding official for today's ceremony, Commander of the Washington Air National Guard and Assistant Adjutant General for Air, Brigadier General Jet Welsh.
So this is what you get when you have your promotion ceremony on a weekday, not a weekend. So when we say that 70% of our formation is part-time, this is what you're going to get. Anyways, huge day for you today. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. But huge welcome to the family. So Boise, Idaho. So that's awesome. That's God's country. So Sandra, Lauren or Laura?
Laura.
Laura, awesome. I think I see it in I don't know how it does it. But anyways, Jared, great to see you. Thanks for your service. Many years flying really fast airplanes, with the exception of the A-10. Low and really speedy over Idaho and Eastern Oregon. So I'm proud of their fishing. And when we're going to fly right for that guy and scare all the fish away that I was trying to catch. So anyways, that was me on the ground. Chris, thanks for being here for Joe as well. Thanks for making sure that he got into adulthood and survived all that. But also, huge thanks for even knowing where Vail, Oregon is on the map. So that's huge bonus points. And Grandma Ida, thank you for making it this way as well. So, all right. So I started to look for some things to talk about with Joey. So Google's your friend, of course. Joey Compton. You could Google that, you probably find a lot of different things. You're really not going to find much about him. You creep on his LinkedIn profile a little bit, and there's not that much there. And then you get his biography emailed to you, and there's even not that much there. There's like 3 or 4 lines. Here's where I went to college, here's what I did, and here's where I worked. There's not much, to fill in there. So one, that's a great sign of intelligence officer, because you've completely masked who you are in today's society, which is really hard to do. But 2, it's really a sign of somebody that's really humble and really an introvert, as we all know and love. So, sometimes when people don't put a lot of stuff on their bio, you give the presiding officer complete freedom to just build what you want. But I do want to thank you for your time this morning, because it did fill in a little. We have a proud graduate of Centennial High School in Boise, Idaho. I actually didn't know that high school is. Boise was the big town for those that lived there, so there you go. Went to Embry-Riddle, right? In Prescott, not Prescott, Prescott,
like
Arizona. Exactly, like a biscuit. 2005 graduate there, so from Air Force ROTC. So at the time, this was one of those times when ROTC was experimenting with, you don't always have to go in the Air Force, you can go in the Reserve or the Guard. So Joey happened to know somebody in the Guard, happened to actually have a position back in Boise, so that's how you came into the Guard as a lieutenant from ROTC. Spent some time in the Idaho Guard, deployed to Iraq as a collection manager in Balad, also known for those that have been there as Mortaritaville. A little pun off of Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville because of the amount of mortars and rockets that were fired at that place. I happened to be there just briefly and informed them that realized that I wanted to be somewhere else. Kirkuk was actually safer. So spent some time in Iraq deployed. Came up here in 2012 as part of the Washington Guard. Obviously, been working for Boeing prior to that. But really an active guy in a lot of our state partner programs. So that's one of the things that I sort of said to myself when I came to the headquarters, why do we need a guy? We don't produce anything. one stop, one person each show. It's on your lap. It's okay. You don't have to stand up for a while. Appreciate your time here. The other thing I want to add is he works for Boeing. So who has ever ridden on a 787? Okay. Did you realize that the seat that you're sitting on was brought to you by, this guy? So he's the manager of all the seats that go on the 787. So next time, normally when you sit down on something, you don't really associate that with somebody else. But next time I fly on a 787, I may send you a picture. So there you go. I'm actually look weirdly underneath the seat. That was inspected with pride by Joey. So we'll see that. Lieutenant Colonel is, for most folks, their actual terminal rank. It's about 5% make colonel in the Air Force, so Lieutenant Colonel is usually about where most folks go with a successful career, and you're already a couple years away from retirement. But what I would ask you to do is use the time, because you got to answer the phone now. It's not just Colonel Compton. Don't try that. It's Lieutenant Colonel. And that's one of the little things that you'll find out is Lieutenant Colonel is, there is a big difference between a Lieutenant Colonel and a Colonel. So just, my word of advice is just don't make the mistake of, answer Colonel in front of maybe somebody out on the Army or something like that on the joint side. So, but no, it's a fun rank. It's really that first rank in what I would call senior leadership. So you've done the tactical stuff as a lieutenant and captain. Really at the operational level, you're kind of at that major, but at the lieutenant colonel level, you're really starting to get into that strategic leadership. So now it's just a matter of what kind of legacy you leave for yourself and whatnot behind it. So anyways, wish you the best. I know you're not going anywhere for a few more years, but this is a huge step, and I'm glad to be here so very much. There we go.
Thank you, General. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the publication of the promotion order.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Special order number AP 2508. By order of the Secretary of the Air Force and direction of the President, Major Joseph S. Compton is extended federal recognition and promoted to the grade of Lieutenant Colonel in the Reserve of the United States Air Force, effective the 6th of May 2023. By order of the Secretaries of the Army and the Air Force. Signed, Daniel R. Hokanson, General, United States, Chief, National Guard Bureau.
You can get closer.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The pinning portion of today's ceremony is a tradition that highlights the significance of the first time a higher rank is placed on the uniform. Would Lieutenant Colonel Compton's wife, Sandra, and parents, Randy and Chris, please come forward to pin on the new rank.
Stick it in really hard when you're done.
This is your chance to give back. You may not get another one. So.
gifts to Sandra, Chris, and Ida. Thank you, Sandra, Randy, and Chris. At this time, Lt Col Compton will now take the oath of office. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Joseph Scott Compton,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Washington,
and the Constitution of the State of Washington
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States,
that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States
the Governor of Washington State,
and the Governor of Washington State,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Lieutenant Colonel
the duties of the office of Lieutenant Colonel
in the Air National Guard
in the Air National Guard
of Washington State,
of Washington State,
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Compton.
Thank you guys for coming out. For Sandra, thank you for all of your support in what I do for the Guard and the time it takes away from our family. And for Mom and Dad for being out here and Grandma for being able to be out here as well. It's great to have all of you here this day. And then to the headquarters staff, being at headquarters for around 5 years now, it is truly a small family. And the support that all of you provide to enable us to do our jobs is truly outstanding. And I am very grateful for everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Compton. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party.
We all get to sing. It's going to be a small.
Climbing high into the sun, here we come to beat our thunder. Adam boys, give her the gun, give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flames from under, off with one hell of a roar. We rid and flame, we're down in flames. Hey, nothing to stop the U.S. Air Force.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please join us in the back of the room to offer congratulations to Lieutenant Colonel Compton and his family. Also, light refreshments and cupcakes are in the back of your day.
It's good.